Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Nick. I'm an ex-Royal Marines Commando, British military fitness instructor, boot camp instructor, rehab instructor, and a level 3 personal trainer. And you've caught me having my coffee, which I'll put down. Because the cameraman started filming before there's no one here. It's just me. Okay, I jest. So, question of the day is fitness. What shoes should I wear? I used to work at a sports-specific physiotherapy clinic where we used to have competitive triathletes come to the clinic, as well as world-renowned athletes that would come from around the world basically to be trained by my boss, who is a highly regarded sports physio. His speciality was orthotics and getting the right shoe for the right person. People often don't put too much thought into what shoe wear they're wearing, and I know this from experience because when I take people for boot camps or when I take them for personal training, you look at their shoes and they look like they're 5 years old, they're almost falling apart, or they've just come in a completely inappropriate shoe that's more of just a casual shoe as opposed to a trainer designed for doing fitness in. The amount of technology in shoes, companies spend millions and millions of pounds, dollars researching and creating those shoes. So when Nike, Reebok, whoever, they create a shoe, they don't just go, oh, that design looks nice, let's make it and we'll put the shoe out. There's a lot of technology in those shoes. After about a year to 18 months, the technology in those shoes starts to break down because the trainer's just been used so heavily. That the technology breaks down and it stops becoming effective. So pick the right shoe, but also make sure that your shoes aren't 5 years old. Every year to a year and a half, get yourself a new pair of shoes if you want to train safely and effectively. If you have the wrong shoe and you injure yourself, because when you're doing fitness, everything stems from your feet up. If your shoes aren't doing you any favors, well, then you may start getting issues in your ankles, your knees, your hips, or it could stem all the way up to your shoulders, your neck, your back, etc. So also with shoes, you kind of get what you pay for. You don't need to go for the ridiculously expensive new model out. Generally about 50 to 70 pounds, you're going to get a good quality shoe. If you go and find a shoe for, £10, $10, it's just not going to have the technology, the research, the stuff inside that shoe that you want. So at the physiotherapy clinic, we used to do something called a full gait analysis, where we used to put people on a treadmill, we used to video them from various angles, and then we would put it into slow motion. So as they're running on the treadmill in slow motion, you'll literally be able to watch a knee collapse in or an ankle collapse in, or even kind of shoulders collapsing in, but it's typically around the hips. And you get some people that are either pronators with their feet or they're supinators, where their kind of feet start coming out to the side. They sort of do that, supinating. Or the pronator is they pronate inwards. You can get trainers that are designed for pronators and supinators, but you can also get orthotics fitted that are correct for you. Word of warning with the orthotics: if you just go to a general sports centre and you've got some, and I don't mean to be rude about the workers that work there, but some young person that's done a 2-day course on how to do their full gait analysis, which some of the shops now have, where they put you on the treadmill, very much like the clinic, but they don't have professionals analysing what you're doing. And then they go, yeah, this is a trainer for you, and they go and sell you a really expensive trainer. I actually had that experience whilst I was working at the physiotherapy clinic. They offered me a shoe and then said, would you like a quick gait analysis? So I said, yeah, cool, fantastic, I'll do that. And then they offered me a shoe. I took that shoe back to the clinic and my boss said, why have you got that shoe? It's completely the wrong shoe for you. That's going to really, really hurt you. Because he had watched me training, he knew how my body worked, and I had also done a full gait analysis. But just from looking at me, he could see what my feet were like. And he said, they've given you completely the wrong shoe. I went back to the shop, long story short, and the manager came out because they didn't want to refund me at all and said, if our staff have done your assessment, then this is the right shoe for you. And I said, I understand that, but I actually work at a sports specific physiotherapy clinic where a guy, I'm not going to say his name on this, a very well-known person has actually looked at me in detail and has said, you've given me completely the wrong trainer. He looked a bit annoyed and said, yeah, okay, our staff aren't qualified to kind of, go in depth. They're not physios, they're not sports kind of rehab people. They've done a 2-day course, whatever. So watch out where you're getting your advice from, because in the shop they'll sell it to you as this is amazing and this is definitely the right shoe for you. But saying that, most people will just need a standard trainer. If you're playing basketball, buy a basketball shoe. They've been designed for basketball and the specific activities your feet will be going through in basketball. The same applies to everything. So if you're doing general gym work, just get a general kind of CrossFit trainer. You don't want a running trainer unless if you're running lots. So if you're doing lots of running, buy a running trainer. If you're playing basketball, buy a basketball trainer. If you're just doing general circuit training, just buy the standard. In England, they're kind of called CrossFit trainers, where they're for cross fitness purposes, i.e. you can do a bit of jogging on the treadmill, you can do a bit of squat work, you can do a bit of group exercise classes and things like that, and the shoe will support you adequately. Most people are not pronators or supinators. Most people have a pretty standard foot, so to speak. So don't buy the cheapest trainer that you can, because the technology inside trainers really is very high tech nowadays and very, very beneficial to training. Don't let your trainers get too old. If they're past 18 months, they're starting to look haggard, they've had a lot of use, get rid of them, because the technology is kind of broken down and it's no longer working. You'll know this when you buy your new shoes, your new trainers, and you step in them. So I've got quite new shoes now, and you're just like, oh, that feels so soft and supported. And the last thing I will say on the subject is the amount of clients that come to me and they've clearly just slipped on their shoe. So they've literally just not done the laces up tightly, and they literally have just slipped on their shoe, boom, and they've come to training. The technology in those trainers is designed for support, but if you haven't even bothered to tie your shoelaces up properly, you're kind of not doing yourself any favors. And if the trainer is loose, you're very possibly going to go over on your ankle. I have a lot of experience of trashing my ankles through my days in the military. And now you've got an injury. Once you get that injury, it's a weak spot on the body, starts to recur again and again. So do your trainers up. Where I used to work, if ever they caught anyone slipping their shoes on and off, being lazy, they used to fill it with stuff just to make the point of don't be lazy and do your shoelaces up. Hope you found this video helpful. Please like, please subscribe, leave a comment. When you like, subscribe or leave a comment, it helps the algorithm push this video out to other people. And I hope you have found something beneficial from this video. I say in all my videos, I do not know how to build a house. I do not know how to fix a car. But one thing I'm pretty good at is fitness, because I've done it my whole life. And I've had the advantage of working with some of the top instructors in the world. Royal Marine Commando physical training instructors, some of the top physios. Yeah, so British military fitness instructors. I've been around and picked up a few things myself. So thank you for watching, and look at our other videos, or my other videos, for some other information that may be helpful to you. Thank you.